we go. Welcome to the Blood Prison Shakedown. I'm Vic. Thanks for coming back. Happy New Year. It's been a minute since we've been on. God, I think it was August the last time we did a show, and it's been a busy end to 2023, and we're into 2024. Looking forward. It was a good 2023, and we've got a lot coming up for this year, and we'll have some more shakedowns heading your way as well. Right now, we're going to do something different that we haven't done on the show, and that is talk real ghosts. Normally we talk our Halloween stuff, but it kind of coincides. I always get a lot of the same questions about, do you guys do ghost hunts? Yeah, of course we do. But that's not Blood Prison. That is the paranormal programming, and I'd like to welcome in Greg and Kathy Feketik. Did I say the name right?
You did.
How you guys doing today?
We're doing great. I'm doing great anyway.
Yep, excellent.
So, Kathy, you are the head of the paranormal programming, yes?
Paranormal program manager at OSR.
My
you
bad.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Greg, you're the lead investigator, correct?
Correct.
See, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you do.
How long you guys been here?
We started investigating in 2004.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
And we started
That's a
working
long
here.
time.
Yeah, we started working here in 2013.
Gotcha.
We love the building so much. I mean, we used to come here several times a year starting in 2004. We loved it so much that we just felt like it was our second home in a way. So we decided we wanted to volunteer.
Well, the building, that's a common thread with everybody, is they love the building. You know, I love the building. I mean, it's the centerpiece. Everyone's like, for us, they're like, the Halloween event, the Warden's Widow, and it's like, yes, but you don't come here without the building. You know what I mean? And it's pretty iconic, which makes it, fun to be here for sure. So, let me ask you this. We get a lot of stuff during the Halloween event. Like, how did you guys do that? What happened? Like, how did this happen? And there's times where, like, we didn't do that. You know what I mean? You guys can hit on that a little bit further on the paranormal. I've got my own stories when it comes to, ghost hunting here. But how did you guys, what got you into it? The paranormal.
Well, I actually grew up in a haunted house. So that's why I have an interest. And the biggest reason why I have an interest is because as I was growing up, I was always told, oh, it's your imagination, it's not real. But the things that were happening, I knew were real. It wasn't my imagination. So as I got older, and I should also add, I'm also a sensitive. And when I say a sensitive, what that means is I can pick up on things.
Oh, yeah?
Different things, whether it be spirits or just, like if your arm's hurting, I can feel that your arm's hurt and stuff like that. So I'm what you call a sensitive.
Yeah, don't tell me that.
Your poor back. I feel bad for you.
Oh, come on. Who doesn't have a bad back? Come on.
Right. Yeah, I picked up on that real quick, didn't I? But anyway, so I knew all of this stuff. Just there was more to it.
Yeah.
So as I got older, there were different things that happened through my life. But then I met Greg, and he shared the same interest. And when we met, that's where we really took off with exploring the paranormal. And I'll let Greg take over from there because then he can share how he got involved in all this.
Yeah, Greg, where was your, first initial interest?
I did not grow up in a haunted house. No. I used to read.
Okay.
I used to read everything. Everything interested me. Bermuda Triangle, Loch Ness Monster, UFOs, all the paranormal stuff intrigued me. So I used to read everything I could get my hands on. And I'm a retired police officer, and one of the officers on the department, he claimed that his house was haunted.
Yeah.
This was back in 1991. And I'm like, ooh, let's go investigate.
Yeah.
So we investigated it, and we captured some stuff that we couldn't explain, and that's when I was really hooked. So then met Kathy. I used to do investigating and had experiences prior to that. But when I met her, we're just like, wow, we loved Halloween. We used to have our own haunted house in our garage.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Homeowners.
Oh, yeah. We used to have our own home haunt.
We would have people lined up down the street waiting to get into our garage.
Very cool.
Right. So that was a lot. We did that for like 8 years.
Wow. That's cool.
And but we were also doing the paranormal. We were doing a lot of investigating on our own. And in 2005, we joined a paranormal team.
So everyone's going to ask, where did you guys meet? So you're married. So how did that happen?
We met online.
Yeah, we did.
How'd I know?
Love at AOL.
There you go.
Yeah.
Was it the paranormal that kind of did that, or was it just? I'm just trying to get some in a chat room. What are we talking here?
Right.
Okay. Well, I wasn't looking to get into a relationship at all. I just wanted friendships. I wanted to get to know different people. I wasn't interested in a serious relationship. But then I met Greg, and that all changed.
Yeah. Yeah. She saw my picture, and she's like, "Oh my God, I gotta have this guy."
I have to. Yes.
And yeah,
that's what I said when I first saw you, Greg.
Oh yeah. Lord. It's like she said she wasn't looking for anything, but then she saw me, and she's like, "Oh my God, I love that guy," and she didn't even meet me yet.
Oh wow! Well, that is also paranormal.
That was love at AOL.
There you go.
Love at first sight.
Right.
Well, it's all history from there, right? Is that what they say?
Absolutely.
But, yeah. Well, wonderful people. We do a ghost hunt every year. The Blood Prison. We get our own little ghost hunt, and you guys helped us out with that last year.
That's right.
And I'll tell you, my crew. Like, there's a lot of people on my crew that have been around for a long time, and they come to the ghost hunt every year. They always want to be here. They always want to be here during the ghost hunt. So we do it, and then, of course, the new people that come in, they just are through the moon when they hear. It's actually one of the things we tell, like, some of the actors, like, well, we also do get our own ghost hunt. They're just like, really? So they love doing that stuff.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
So how long have you guys been ghost hunting, like, officially, like, out there with all the gear and all that stuff?
Oh gosh, when did we start?
We started that. We started that as husband and wife back in 2002.
Okay.
So that's when we were doing it together.
Yeah, and it was after we had been doing it for a while. We were on our own, and we were only learning from television. We used to watch Taps because Taps are the real people. But that's what we were learning from. And then we decided we wanted to join a team so that we could broaden our horizons and learn a lot more and learn from other people the different techniques. So, and that was, when did we join the first team?
2005.
2005. So that was after we started investigating here on our own.
Okay.
Yeah, and then in 2013, we broke away from that team, and we formed our own team.
Gotcha. So kind of going back just real quick, I just got to ask, you said you grew up in a haunted house.
Yes.
Let's
Can I tell
expand
you
on that. So tell me some stuff that happened as in your childhood. First of all, where was it at?
Westlake, Ohio.
In Westlake, okay. So what happened in Westlake at the haunted? Well, I guess it wouldn't be Feketik House. It would be
Shillings.
What was that?
Shillings.
Okay.
Yes.
What happened there?
Well, the one story that I like to tell the most, because there was so much that happened with it. There's many stories I have.
Yeah.
But I was probably about the age of 16, and my younger sister would have been 11. We shared a room, a rectangle-shaped room.
Okay.
And on the short corners, we were across the hall or across the room from each other in twin beds. And we went to bed one night, and room's dark, and all of a sudden, right next to where my bed is, I heard. And it started to move all the way around the room. Now, the interesting thing is, because you could say, oh, well, that was just somebody going around tapping. 2 of the walls were inside, 2 of the walls were outside.
Yeah.
So whoever it was would have had to have gone through the wall and gone all the way around.
Right, so you were hearing it in surround. Yeah.
Yes, coming from my side, and it worked its way all the way around the room. When it got back to my bed, it sat down on my bed. I felt my bed go down like somebody sat on it, and as soon as the bed went down, there was rattling, a baby rattle, that was rattling in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Now, my sister from across the room flew through the air without putting feet on the floor at all onto my bed and flipped on the switch and was like, "Did you hear that?" Well, there was a baby rattle in the middle of the room because my older sister had a toddler. So that was his baby rattle.
Okay.
So with all of those things happening, it was a pretty scary experience, actually. I mean, my sister jumped from one side of the room to the other.
Yeah.
But then there were a lot of other things that happened too. You know, you'd be sitting and you'd feel somebody combing your hair, or you would hear music, or you would hear footsteps. We actually had one of my brother-in-laws spent the night, and he was in one of the rooms, and he felt somebody rubbing his leg while he was in bed, but there wasn't anybody in bed with him. So there were quite a few things.
Stalking ghosts.
Now, the sensitive part of me,
Yeah.
that's where I can pick up on things. I'm going off here. I like to talk
No, you're
sometimes.
fine. That's what we're talking about.
It was after I moved out of my house.
Yeah.
And I was sleeping, and I woke up because I heard a buzzing, like a bzz, 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 bzz type of sound.
Okay.
So I looked over, and when I looked over, there was the closet there, and I saw two young men standing there. Mm-hmm. One had black curly hair, and the other had a mist over his head, so I couldn't see him. And the buzzing was the two of them talking. So I went to scream when my grandma, who's passed away, appeared, and she put her hand on my forehead and brushed the hair off of my forehead, and I knew immediately that everything was okay. So I went back to sleep. Well, I saw my mom a few weeks later. Now, this is the one that said everything, you know, it was all my imagination.
Right.
I told her the story, and when I was done, her jaw was dropped. It was like she dropped her teeth on the ground. You know, she was just like, and I go, what? And she goes, Kathleen, you had two brothers that passed away. One had dark curly hair, and the other one no one ever saw. He was taken away before we got to see him.
Oh, wow.
So I do believe that my brothers and my grandma were with me that night.
Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. So not all bad.
No,
not all a bad
not
thing.
at all.
No, no.
Or scary, I should say.
No,
Yeah.
they're not scary. In fact, when we got married, she moved into my house,
And everything started happening.
which was haunted.
You lived in a okay.
Yes. we
I
did.
did, but I didn't grow up in one.
Yeah.
And we had some crazy things going on. Rocking chair would rock on its own. We would actually hear it. Our bedroom was a big dormer, and so half was living room, half was our bedroom.
Right.
And we had some lazy boys in there, and you'd hear them, somebody rocking in them. But we used to always say it's just Eleanor.
Yeah.
Because that's who used to live there, and I bought the house off the
Gotcha.
family, so it was vacant when I bought it.
Tell him about the time you were sitting at the computer.
God, yeah, that was terrifying.
That he said the hair was standing up on his neck on that one.
Yeah.
So I'm a retired police officer. I still have working midnight shift. That's why I like doing what I do here.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So prior to me going to work on a midnight shift on my day off, I would stay up to 4 a.m. so I could get accustomed to the shift. Well, this one night I'm on the computer and I'm working, and I hear these heavy footsteps coming up the stairs. They were like boom, boom, boom. I mean, very loud, very distinct. I mean, I just froze, and hair on the back of my neck standing up, and I could hear it coming up to the door, and I'm just waiting for something just to bust through the door.
Right.
And it's like I was just frozen in fear, but obviously nothing happened. It's not the movies. But, it was terrifying because it was, loud and heavy. And so a lot of crazy stuff happened there.
Well, yeah, my mom came to visit him when she passed.
That was another scary night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always scary when the mother-in-law comes to visit.
Well, her mom was under hospice care and
at my sister's house. So I was there. Greg went home. He went home to,
Gotcha.
because he had to work and everything. So I was there with my mom and my sister, and she was on her way to passing. Mm-hmm. So Greg had left and went home.
And go home. House just seemed a lot darker and eerier than it has in the past. So, and at the time, my son was living with us. He was 18 at the time, but he wasn't home. So I go upstairs and I'm getting ready for bed, and then all of a sudden I hear the door downstairs open and close and somebody walking around. I'm like, oh, Andrew's here. So, I opened the door and I looked down the steps onto the first floor, and it's dark and quiet. There's like nothing there.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap. So I go out and look out the window, but his car's not there. And I'm like, shit. I mean, I know somebody opened the door and came in and started walking around on all this movement.
Yeah.
So, I did what everybody would do. I locked the door, and then I went to bed. And as soon as I laid down, and this was back when we had the landlines,
yes.
As soon as I laid down, the phone rang and scared the living shit out of me. I mean, it was like, and I just about had a heart attack. And she's like, Mom just passed.
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, I know. I think she just visited me.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, man. There's been some. When I was little, I didn't grow up in a haunted house, but my dad lived in this little town, and there was me and my buddies. We had this haunted. It's the haunted house. It's because it was an old house. Now this house is old. It was built around the same time this building was built. Okay, so it's old, and we would always ride our bikes because they had a driveway that kind of went around, like you pull in and it would loop and come back, and we would dare each other to ride our bikes. And I swear I saw a woman on the porch, on the closed-in back porch one time. And I was like, and I was like riding my bike even quicker, you know what I mean, to get out of there. So my dad eventually moved out of that town, but we were always friends. We're still friends to this day. He lives in that house now.
Cool.
I was like, how in the hell would you buy the haunted house? And he's laughed. He goes, this place is haunted. And I was like, yeah. I go, talk to me. What is it? And he was like, well, I was in bed one night. Him and his wife were in bed, and his one son, who was probably maybe 7 or 8 at the time, somewhere in there, he said, I was in bed and I heard something, and I looked up and I saw my kid, or what he thought was his kid, standing in the middle of the bedroom. And I said, what are you doing? And he's like, phew, and he just took off. Now, obviously the lights are off, so all he could really see was the silhouette-ish. He goes, I could see him, but I just knew it was a little kid. And he ran, and he didn't say nothing. And he was like, so I get up and I go to his room. He's out. He's in his room, just, not fake sleeping. You always tell when your kids are like,
right.
He's like, no, he was sleeping. And I was just like, what the hell's going on? And then I guess another time he saw that again, and he went and he saw it run down their stairs, and he went down, and he said his TV was on. And he was like, I was the last one up. I turned the TV off.
Wow.
And I was like, well, yeah, but anybody, he's like, he goes, everybody was out. And I was like, that's kind of weird. So, I think we've all got those
things that happen.
Yeah. Even here, like when I first started here, and honestly, I don't know how that works. Maybe they're just used to me now, but I would stay late because like when I first started working here, I mean, I was doing 12-hour days because I was just so happy to be here, and I wanted the event to be good, and I was just constantly just, here until 7, 8 o'clock at night, get here at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I was a lot of the times the last one to leave. There wasn't a ghost hunt going on. And there was the one night in particular where I heard something like, I mean, not just a scratch or something. I heard like this commotion. I was like, what the hell? And I get up and I walk to the door and I open the door to the office and I look down and I was like, what the hell was that? You know what I mean? It was just kind of weird. It wasn't a voice or anything like it. It was like something just like got knocked over or thrown down the hallway. Or I was like, that's weird. So I go back in and sit down. I'm still working. 5 minutes later, I hear it again. I was like, what the hell's going on? So I get up and I go out there and I walk down to where the West Cell block is. I don't see anything. And I know I'm the only one in the building. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Is what it is. And I just came back to the office and I'm just like, all right, okay. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. And then everything starts to go in your head. It's like, oh, those damn raccoons always get in here. So you're like saying, it's just a raccoon knocked a trash can over, even though there was no trash cans knocked over or anything. And then another time we were in solitary and we were looking to see what we were going to put in, the alleyway between the cells. We were running some airlines through there for the event. And we were kind of looking to where we wanted to pop them out. We were standing on the end. We're like, all right. It was like not the end you enter into solitary, but the back side of it. Mm-hmm. So we're standing down there, and we did everything we were doing, and there was that light switch right there, with the light comes on. I was like, "You good?" And my friend was with me. He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right." and I shut the light switch off, and I get to almost to the part where we go to turn to go back, and the light turned back on. And we just kind of stopped, and we turned around, and, you know, I mean, he was standing right next to me, and I was just like, did you turn? He's like, no. I was like, all right, man, whatever. I was like, you're a witness, because, like, that was a witness that someone was there, that, you know, that the light just turned on by itself. People, I'm like, dude, you can ask Tony. He was there with me. You know what I mean? I'm not making it up. So that was ones that was, when that happens, because, like, the noises I heard, I'm here by myself. Whatever, Vic, you're just hearing the wind blowing through. You know, because you guys have probably heard a lot of that, too, over the years. Well, that, you know, the naysayers, that's just this, that, and, you know, the other. But another time in solitary, I was showing some guys from incarceration around. They wanted to see solitaire. I was like, okay, I'll take you down. So I take them down there. And I was at this one part where I didn't know there was a guard that was killed in there. And I said, yeah, I said, I don't know the whole story because I'm not a tour guide. But I know there was a guard killed in this area right here, and then something fell from the ceiling, and boom, hit the ground, and we jumped. We're like, Jesus! And we looked, and it was like a piece of, like, almost plaster or something like that. And we just started laughing, and we walked out of there because we're like, oh my God, that was wild. Well, I went back, like, not even an hour later, you know, because I just wanted to see. I went to right where we were, and I was looking all around. I was like, there was nothing, like, there wasn't. The ceilings are all steel in there. So it's like, it's not like a piece of steel fell. And the walls, like, there was nothing missing with this big chunk. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. And I rolled right the hell out of there because that kind of freaked me out. What about here? What have you guys, like, what is the most concrete thing you guys have done here?
Oh, my gosh, there's so much.
Yeah? we both have had so many experiences here. And through different areas. I mean, is the show like an hour long, 2 hours long?
That's as long as you want it to be, man.
I mean, it's crazy.
There's too many to, I mean, I mean, this place is pretty active.
There's actually two things that I would like to bring up because they were recent. Okay. They were recent. Let's see. The apparition, that happened February of 2023. So that just happened last year.
Okay.
There was a private ghost hunt. It was for the people I used to work for. They were here, and Greg was leading them and giving me a tour of the building.
Okay.
And we're on the 3rd floor, East Admin, which is one of the most active areas in addition to a couple of other places. So he's sitting in that area, and I see my son is calling me. He will not call me late in the evening, so I thought there was something wrong with my grandson because he was boxing. Okay. So I thought maybe there was something bad that happened, so I was like, I got to go take this. So I went down the hallway, removed myself from the tour group, and I stood in front of the window there right on the corner.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, and I'm on the phone, and I go, hey, what's going on? And he goes, oh, and he started to talk, and I just felt like somebody was behind me. So I did one of these, and when I did that, there was about a 6-foot-tall apparition of someone there, but it was like misty, like I could tell it was a guy. And I dropped the F-bomb a couple of times, and my grandson was listening, and he's, Grandma cussed, you know. And my son's yelling, what's going on? And I said, I just saw somebody that's not here. I got to go. And I hung up the phone.
That doesn't help either. I saw somebody that's not here. I'll call you back. What the hell? What are you talking about?
He understands. So as that's taking place, I scared this apparition. So he turned, and as he was turning, he was going down on all fours. So he got down on all fours and went to the hallway, and he turned into a staticky type of ball of light.
Okay.
And it started moving around. And, of course, you just like you said, your logical mind, it wants to think of logical reasons. And I'm going, oh, somebody's pulling a game on me. They just threw a ball down the hallways. Where's that Keith, you know? Stuff like that. And I'm like, that's not a ball, you know? So I watched it for a little while, and it started to go down the hallway. So I got down the hallway, and I flipped on my flashlight to see if I could see like an image, but it disappeared. So I ran back to where Greg was, and I go, "You guys aren't going to believe what I just saw." You know, very dramatic because it was quite an experience. And we're like all excited because there's security cameras. We got the security camera where he was.
Yeah.
We got the security camera, which is full view where I was, and security camera looking the other way where I saw the ball of light. So we went and checked the security cameras. That camera didn't record at that time. Did not record.
Yeah.
But you can see on the camera down the hallway that I've got the flashlight down there, and you can see me going back into the room. That camera it just didn't record at that time.
Yeah, of course not.
So, strange thing.
Now, one of the things that I had happen, it was down in Solitary.
Yeah. That's a pretty hot spot.
It's a pretty hot spot there. I've been investigating since '91. I've only seen 4 shadow figures and apparitions.
Yeah.
In that whole time.
I've never seen anything like that.
And 3 of them have been here. And one of them was in Solitary. And it was just probably about a year and a half ago. I'm leading a tour. They're doing a private hunt. And I'm going, if you go into Solitary, you go to the right. And it's those steel doors. And I'm walking by them. I've walked by them hundreds of times. This time I'm leading the way. I walk by this one, and sure enough, there's a frickin' guy standing there. So it's like I kind of like jumped, did the quick step, did one of these. I didn't say anything. It startled me. But the woman behind me, she fell to her knees and started crying because she actually saw it. So that was like, oh, thank you for seeing it too, because otherwise, it would just been my word.
Right.
So that was a crazy experience.
Well, my other story goes along kind of with what you were talking about, where you heard the commotion and everything, and you went towards the west cell block. Did you think that it was coming from the west cell block? It was
coming from
that direction. Okay.
Because we're in the front of the building. The hallway goes back, and if you get to the west is just on your left-hand side.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. It had to have been from over here somewhere. It just sound like it came from there.
Well, what I'm going to talk about happened in the west cell block, and it again happened just last year. Now, it was during a ghost walk.
Yeah.
I had just finished checking everybody in, and the tours went out, so I was closing everything up, and then I was going to tag along on the last tour and push. So as I'm doing that, I'm downstairs outside of the west cell block, and I hear all these doors slamming, the cell doors slamming, and not just one, several of them.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I got to go down there. So I walk down there, and it gets quiet, really quiet. So I walk away. I hear all the commotion again coming from down in the west cell block.
Yeah.
So I walked down there, and I stood there for a while this time, and nothing happened. So I was like, you know what? I got to go help them. So I went up to the west attic where the group was that I was going to push. And as I was walking over to go from the chapel into the attic, you're right over the west cell block.
Yeah.
I heard all the cell doors slamming and everything. So I tiptoe over there, and I'm listening, and you can hear footsteps and running and everything. So I hear the group coming out of the attic, so I go over, and I meet him at the door, and I go, shh, don't say anything. If you can hear me whispering.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. Be as quiet as you can if you want to experience the paranormal. Come walk over here and just listen. They got to experience the whole thing. They heard men talking down there. They heard the running. They heard walking. They heard the cell doors slamming and everything. So after that, I grabbed a couple of the volunteers, 3 of them, and I said, you guys need to go down there and try and debunk that, because I'm still doing my work. I said, you guys need to go down there and investigate it and try and debunk it and figure out what the heck is going on down there. They went down there, and they were being played with. I mean, they would hear the cell doors down at the end. They'd walk to the end. Then they'd hear the cell doors down at the other end. And, and then they were hearing the running and everything. And they could not figure it out at all. So the one thing that we noticed is it was on April 21st that this happened.
Okay.
And when was that, Greg? Wasn't that the night of the fire in the Ohio Penitentiary?
I just know that it was Easter Sunday on 1930. So
yeah,
whatever
and
date that was.
I think it was April 21st. So that would have been a time where it would have been a little chaotic.
Yeah. Sure.
So April 21st, I really want to be here.
Yeah, try it, right?
Yeah.
So where else? I mean, you guys said you've been ghost hunting for a while or investigating. I'm not sure what the term is. That's what we call it, of course. But where else have you guys done that? Like, where else have you done investigations like noteworthy, like the Reformatory?
All over the U.S.
Yeah.
You know, Trans-Allegheny.
Yes.
Moundsville, West Virginia. Waverly Hills.
Myrtles.
The Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana. The Stanley Hotel. The Lemp Mansion. The Crescent
you guys
Hotel.
in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is that the same place where they have the restaurant and everything? Is that the same? Is that the place you?
Yeah.
Because we went there and ate last year at Trans World.
Yeah, in fact,
Halloween convention.
In fact,
it's a nice place.
It is.
We are planning every year. Our team Tri-C Ghost Hunters. We do a trip.
Yeah.
So this year we're going to the Lemp Mansion and we're renting it out.
Oh, cool.
So, but we've also been over to the UK. We've investigated haunted castles in Scotland.
See, I've heard a friend of mine, a British friend of mine, who, I mean, he lived up in the States until about 2007 before he went back. He told, I can't remember the name of the place, but he was like, man, you don't go in there.
Oh,
he goes, that place will make you a believer if you're a non-believer. I can't remember what it was called, though.
Well, where was it? Was it in London? Was it in...
I don't, man, it's been so long. I'd have to ask him, but he said it's pretty wild.
Tell him the location where they actually won't let people in.
Yeah, that's called, it's in Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh, Scotland. There's a place called the Covenanters Prison and the Black Mausoleum.
Does that sound about right?
Where
No?
it's
I don't remember.
It's one of the first documented cases of poltergeist activity where guests were actually getting physically attacked and knocked out.
Yeah.
Where they actually had to close off this portion of the cemetery. The poltergeist was the Mackenzie poltergeist. And our friends over in Edinburgh, he used to be a police officer. He's a retired police officer. So he got us in there at night. So we investigated there at night. But
yeah, we're pretty daring. We go into places where people get knocked out to investigate.
But
if you want evidence,
we
knocked unconscious will do it.
We've investigated a couple haunted castles over there. Got to cruise Loch Ness. I always wanted to do that.
Oh, there you go.
So didn't find Nessie, but that was really cool. We had an experience at the Tower of London in England.
Yeah.
That we weren't even investigating. We were there as tourists, and we were in this one tower called the Salt Tower.
Yeah.
And I started, my equilibrium, my balance was just, I was like, I had to get out of there. And I get out of there and I find her and she's out of there. And she's like, I had to get out of there. It was just crazy. And then we found out that's where they held a lot of prisoners.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I think that was where they did torturing. So
there's a place, I saw this is just in the last year and a half. I saw a video of some place in Fremont, Ohio.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know I don't know if it was a jail or something, or it was it's a government office now, I think.
Right. I'm friends with the guy
I know
that
what
runs
you're
the
talking
place,
about, but I can't remember the name of it.
The video I watched is like they were doing interviews about something. I can't remember what it was, and they're talking kind of like we are, and then you hear the guy go, or you see him, he's like stops, and he's like, "Do you hear that?" And then you could hear something in the background, and he's like, "Yeah, that's what I was telling you guys about earlier. It's like they don't hide here. They're out there. It just keeps happening. Like just all these crazy noises like during these interviews, and I love those because you see so many shows, if you will, on from back. I don't know what shows are legit or whatever. If there's some that's like they're out there just doing whatever, but it's like they're all sitting there and it's like, did you see that or did you feel that? And nobody knows. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? So, but when you hear and actually see that stuff happen is when you're just like, okay, all right, fine, you're good. I get it. It's real. You know what I mean? Because some people just want to kind of block it out. I'm the same way. I'm not big into the paranormal investigating. I never have been. But since I've been here, there's been things where I'm just like, okay, sure, yeah.
Right. Well, the interesting thing with Greg and I, even though we're into the paranormal and everything, we always do look for a logical reason first to try and figure it out. But here, the majority of this stuff does not have a logical reason. Now, and I will say that the spirits that are here, if you're respectful to them, they are respectful back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of that, even just in anything really here. You know, I think it was Paul that said it to me the first time. I said, dude, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. We did this, and now it just doesn't work. And he's like, welcome to the Reformatory.
That's
I was just like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Well, now I kind of know what that means. Mm-hmm. It just is what it is. You mentioned earlier that you guys started Tri-C. What's it called? Tri-C?
Tri-C, I don't know.
Got it?
Tri-C Ghost Hunters.
Ghost Hunters, yes. So how did that come to be, and where did that start out at?
Greg, you want to take that one?
Sure. Like I said, we were on this other team, and we left that team in 2012, and we weren't planning on starting another one.
Nope.
But we got together with 7 of the members who were on that team. We all left.
Oh, I got you.
And then we decided, hey, let's form another team. And we called ourselves Tri-C because at that time we had teams in Cleveland, Canton, and Columbus.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's why we're called Tri-C, but now we have teams in Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati. So we've got about 45 members on the team now that cover the whole state.
That makes sense. So you guys just go around to different places and just investigate?
Yeah, we get a lot of requests for private homes and businesses investigations.
That was going to be something else. I'm like, is it always like in a building? Have you ever done some like in a woods or in a certain landmark or something? You know what I mean?
We have done that. We prefer not doing outside locations because there's too much contamination with your evidence because of all the noises and everything.
Oh, gotcha.
However, there was one outside location that we did that we actually got some pretty good evidence.
Yeah, where's that?
That was at Signal Tree, and it actually happened to Greg.
Yeah, the Signal Tree is part of the Akron Metro Parks and Cascade Valley portion of the Metro Parks there. And what it is it's called an Indian signal tree. Mm-hmm. I believe it's an oak tree, but instead of having one trunk, it's got 3 trunks. It looks like a trident.
Okay.
And the theory is that the Indians, the Native Americans, used to manipulate these trees when they were young saplings, and they would use it as like a road marker. So when they were canoeing down a river, if they saw the signal tree, that's where they knew to get out and portage their canoes to like the Tuscarawas River.
I got you.
So
Makes sense.
this is Native American land. I mean, all up and down the Cuyahoga Valley. I mean, that was a natural resource for the Native Americans in Ohio. And so we were there doing an investigation. This was with the other team. And
I'll take it from here.
All right, she'll take it from there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
We're tag teaming here.
Yes.
So we were at Signal Tree, and the team that we were on, they used to do seances, but Greg never participated in the seances, but I did because of me being sensitive. I liked getting in touch, and so Greg was filming. Now, we're doing the seance, and I was getting the image of a Native American, a very strong-looking Native American that had, like, a headdress on. It was more like a fox type thing on his head. So I knew he was a warrior. And so I'm looking at him, and I'm going, if that's you, come closer. Mm-hmm. So he starts to come closer. He got so close that I could see the definition in his the muscles in his arms. Mm-hmm. And I said, if you're haunting this place, can you push one of us? Go ahead, push one of us. You have permission to push one of us. And
I went flying.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It was, of course, I don't know what she's seeing or thinking.
Yeah.
And something just pushed me from behind. I was standing on a gravel pathway, and
it was a flat gravel pathway.
And I just started being just pushed. It's like it's shoving me, and park ranger was there, and my daughter was there, and they started laughing because it looked so unnatural. Because here I am sliding, and I'm not moving my feet.
Right.
The weirdest feeling I ever had.
I bet.
And I said that it was probably her using her mind telekinetically.
Okay.
You know, moving me.
But that couldn't be, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because if I could do that, I'd do it all the time to him.
I would be like, can you do me now?
So
Just throw me across the room.
that, you know, and like I said, I've got it on video. You don't actually see me being shoved, but you see the camera lurching. And and me like, someone just pushed me.
Yeah.
And
That's
I had no idea that she was even seeing that.
That's crazy. So, okay, so you can have your own experiences like that here, essentially, with the stuff we have coming up, which we're going to talk about here in a second. I had a couple questions. Since, you know what, I'm just going to ask them because, you know, most people just, you know, give you shit or whatever. But what are your thoughts on, like you mentioned seances, okay? So, like, I've never really got into all that, but I'm just always been curious, like, what are your thoughts on, like Ouija boards and things of that nature? I know they don't allow them here when you're ghost hunting or whatever, but what are your, like, personal thoughts on those? Are those legit, or are those just a board game that you get at the Toys R Us?
Ouija boards, to me, it's a game.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's also a tool that can be used to, talk with the spirit world, just like all of our equipment.
Right. So you essentially could use it.
Yeah, but the Ouija boards, I believe the reason why they're not allowed here is because if it does get in the wrong hands, I guess you don't know what could happen. Mm-hmm. Because any time that you get involved with the spirit world, if you don't know what you're doing, you could open up doors you don't want opened.
Yeah, I don't like doing that.
Yeah. And for me, I abide by the rules here.
Yeah.
Of course, I will never allow them here because those are the rules. Mm-hmm. But I agree with Kat. I just find them as a toy.
Yeah.
To me, they're no different than doing dowsing rods or a pendulum or just sitting there and doing an EVP session.
Okay.
You know, what you're doing is you're communicating.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the reason why people don't like them and think that they bring in demons is because of the movie The Exorcist.
Right, yeah.
Great
movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great movie, but they used an Ouija board.
Yeah.
And, the story goes is that the exorcism of Roland Doe, who the movie was based off of, he actually used an Ouija board, to, talk to whoever he was talking to and be possessed by. But just like everything, there's a lot of people think that he wasn't really possessed.
Right. Yeah.
You know, a lot, just like Amityville, there's a lot of people that really didn't happen, and they just did it for money.
Yeah.
So that's me.
There's so many lines between, like, possession and ghost hunting, aliens. Does it all fall under the same arena, pretty much?
Yeah,
it's
I
all
believe it does.
paranormal. It's all paranormal. Anything that you can't explain that's unknown, that is not accepted by science, it's all paranormal.
Well, and it's funny because how, you would think, like, you see a movie like Aliens, let's just say it, Aliens or Independence Day,
right?
If you want to be, a little more action-oriented. Could you imagine if that happened? Could you imagine if basically it came out, like the aliens showed themselves, and then we had recently, they declassified things where they're basically saying, yeah, we think there are aliens. We're pretty sure there are. They're out there saying it, and everyone's just like, okay. Nobody really was just like, holy shit, what are we gonna do? They were all just like, oh. You think that the acceptance of all the TV shows like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventurers, all that stuff, kind of just has people to the point it's like, yeah, no shit. Of course it's real.
Yeah, I think we've evolved into being open-minded.
Yeah.
And not closing the door on the possibilities.
Sure. Well, and if you think of, universally, you know what I mean? That, come on, there's got to be something. There's got to be something out there.
Absolutely.
Whether it's not, I don't know. I mean, obviously you don't know for sure, but just the logical thinking mind would think, Yeah, there's got to be something. We're a speck. We're a piece of dust compared to the universe, right?
I agree.
Right.
We'd be very naive if we didn't believe there's some type of life out there.
There's got to be.
Yeah, there has to be.
And, you know, it's in our history books, too, you know.
Sure.
You know, encounters that are unknown. And there's a lot of people believe that a lot of stuff, and I don't want to get into the religious thing, but a lot of people believe it goes back to the Bible and everything. You know, there's a lot of people who say a lot of that stuff in there could be aliens.
Yeah.
But,
Can you imagine investigating like the pyramids of Giza or something like that?
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is old. This ain't old. That's old.
When,
you know what I mean?
And you're talking old. I've been doing research for our class coming up, and I just found something that 1500 BC is one of the earliest tablets that they found where it actually tells you how to get rid of ghosts.
Oh, yeah?
And how to prevent, like, a possession.
That's crazy.
So it goes way back.
Have you ever had anything like that here? You ever have someone, like, freak out while you're doing a ghost hunt and, like, holy shit, they're possessed. Holy water.
Well, I thought I killed somebody.
Well,
that'll work.
How about the cameras watching those people running from the Third East?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They just got, and I just think that this was their first time investigating, and something happened up in the third floor east. We were watching them on the video camera, and they just booked out of there. You can tell that they screamed, and they just booked out of there. And they ran all the way back down to the break room, and they said, "We're done, we're leaving," and they left. And
That's
I'm
funny.
like, son of a bitch, now I got to go up there and close the doors. And I'm the only one here at the time.
Yeah, I got to admit, the early years here for me, I remember leaving one night. It was like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And it was dark already, and I left, and I just pulled onto Reformatory Road, and I happened to glance back at the building, and I saw a light on upstairs. I was like, God damn it. I ain't going back in there.
Right?
I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. There ain't no one in there, so I just kind of left it on. You know, now I don't care. Now I go anywhere. I'm kind of so used to everything that's like, before I'd just be like, hate solitary, hate it, lights. Okay.
Right.
You know, now I could walk through that thing blindfold and not even think about it.
You know, and the one thing we tell people too, what you do, when you walk out the door, you just say, okay, it was nice seeing you guys, but you got to stay here. You can't come home with me.
Yeah,
and
there
they
you
do
go.
listen.
Yeah.
I always talk with the guys. You know, hey guys, how you doing? Hey, we got a new group of people coming in. Hey, let's make it exciting for them. And
well, so new groups of people coming in all the time. So what do we got in store this in 2024, paranormal programming wise? I know there's a lot going on. We hit on it earlier.
I am so excited about these new programs that are coming out. I'm actually going to roll it out on Monday, January 15th. Watch Facebook because we'll have a video that will go out. We are now adding a couple of different programs. One is called the Paranormal Institute. The OSR Paranormal Institute. And basically what it is it's a 4-phase program of just learning everything from, how to ghost hunt, how to use equipment, how to debunk, the etiquette, just everything there is regarding doing an investigation and doing it properly and understanding that. Now, the 4 phases are broke out March, May, June, and July. Now, with these, and this is the really, really exciting thing to me.
Okay.
We don't have any programs for our 13 and older except for Ghost Walks, which is a 2-hour guided tour. And I'm constantly asked, why can't they ghost hunt? Well, the rules are 18 and older. The Paranormal Institute, we are accepting 13-year-olds and up.
Okay.
So
that's
the
cool.
13-year-old and up can take the whole class. But what's really cool about it is for each phase, you get an hour and a half to 2 hours of classroom and then 4 hours of a guided investigation throughout the whole building.
Oh, that's cool. Like that.
So they'll and the price for this is comparable to the other programs. And as a matter of fact, if you book all 4 phases, you get a discount even more. So I'm excited about the pricing as well. But there's 2 really cool things about it. One of them is once you complete all 4 phases, you become a member in the OSR Paranormal Membership Program. Now, the Paranormal Membership Program will give you 10% discount on all paranormal programs, 10% off in the museum store, 10% off at the Schofield Cafe. You'll get four tickets comped to take a daytime tour. You'll get a membership T-shirt at the end of it. Mm-hmm. And that membership is complimentary for the first year. And after that, if you want to renew it, it's only $25. And on top of that, you get 2 membership guided ghost hunts, one in the spring and one in the summer. And those 13-year-olds and up can come to it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so they will have the opportunity to be able to investigate this great building.
Yeah. Now,
the other really exciting thing about this program is Greg's going to be teaching it.
Oh, there you go.
He's our lead paranormal investigator. He's the most qualified to be able to teach all of this. He's going to teach all the...
And it's going to be fun. You know, it's not going to be just me up there talking. They're all PowerPoint presentations. They're going to show evidence, a lot of photos. Going to be doing trivia, humor, prizes.
There you go.
That's all part of the program. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun and educational.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody just wants
ahead.
to like just go on a ghost hunt, for instance, I want to go ghost hunt, public ghost hunt. Where do they go to do that?
They just go to mrps.org and go to the paranormal tab and go to the public ghost hunt. There's a button there. You click book, make a reservation, I think is what it says, or book it or something.
Yeah.
And you go there, you check the calendar, and you buy your tickets. So that's for the public ghost hunts.
Yes.
And that's also for the ghost walks. That will also hold true for the Paranormal Institute.
I was just going to say, how do they do that if they want to do that then?
Right now, we don't have it set up on the website, so anybody that wants to book this, they need to contact me at Kathy with a K at mrps.org. Send me an email. Okay. Let me know you're interested. Give me your phone number. I will call you back, and we will discuss the details. Now, so that's 2 things we have going on. We have the Paranormal Institute,
right,
and then we have the Paranormal membership. The third thing we have is also really cool. Again, I get really excited about this.
Yeah.
Is a mini ghost hunt.
A mini ghost hunt.
Yeah, this is for the people that they want to do some ghost hunting, but they don't want to do it from 7 until 3 a.m. They want it in a smaller portion, a time frame and everything. So we are going to do that on select Fridays from March to August, and then the end of November and one in December as well. Mm-hmm. The time is 10 p.m. until 2 a.m., and it's at a discounted rate. Now, what's really cool about that, too, there's a ghost walk prior to that. If you decide you want to do both, you get a discount.
Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm. So a ghost walk, you said that is a guided tour, basically?
That's a guided 2-hour tour. We break people up into smaller groups. We have tour guides that have actually had a lot of experiences here. Mm-hmm. So the people, when they're going through the dark building with their flashlights, they're led by a tour guide that's telling them all the eerie stories that have happened to them here.
So no actual investigating?
No, not for a ghost walk.
Okay.
It's strictly a tour. And the other thing I always tell people, too, this is about the paranormal. Mm-hmm. So you'll get some history with it, but if you really want history on the building, what I would suggest is getting a daytime tour and then coming to the ghost walk. So you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, absolutely. So then I always like it when I hear the people talk about doing the private ghost hunts.
Yep.
Because from what I understand, the groups are way smaller. Mm-hmm. And it's probably, what does it cost to do a private ghost hunt at the Mansfield Reformatory?
To do a private ghost hunt from Monday through Thursday, and that starts at 6 o'clock and ends at 3.
Yeah.
Up to 15 people, it's $1,575, which works out to $105 per person, which is comparable to what you're paying for a public ghost hunt. So you're paying basically the same price for the same thing, except for you've only got 15 people in this huge building. So
it's nothing.
Nothing. But if you have more people, you can bring more people. You just have to pay an additional $105 for those people.
Person.
Per person.
Per person, yes. And then for the Friday and Saturday nights, the rate goes up to $3,150 for 30 people, up to 30 people. Now,
but still, even 30 people in a 250,000 square foot building is nothing.
So, you know, one of the things about that, too, is I need to clarify. If I say 15 and I say 30 and you have 2, you're still paying that full price.
Right.
And we get those people. Now, Greg is the lead for the private ghost hunts, so you could probably give a little bit of information about them and what people can expect.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot cooler with that amount of people. I mean, my last private hunt was last week, and we had 2 people.
That's wild.
2 people for the whole place. And
was that on a weekday?
That was a weekday. That was, well, I can't remember.
It was a Sunday, wasn't it?
No, it was a Monday then.
Monday.
I can't remember.
So it was 2 people.
Yeah, 2 people. They started they got here at 6.
Yeah.
And when I went over the rules and everything, I think I did give them a short tour. And it was like an hour. So at 7 they actually started, and they investigated all the way to the end.
Really?
Yeah, they were out the whole time.
That's crazy. Yeah. 2 people. Well, I mean, if you can do it, why not? And you know that's why I've heard the private ghost hunts are just. I mean, even when we do ours, I mean, we'll get like 50 people, and it's just a good time. It's just fun.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But imagine just if you had the whole building to yourself. That way, because I'm kind of a dick. So like when we're doing ours, I always go into the east cell block and I'll tuck into a cell, and people, or I'll go up on the tiers and I'll get some paint chips and I'll throw them down at people. What was that? Did you hear that? I heard that. And then they hear me kind of snickering, But if it's just you guys, then you're getting the full legit experience. Like 2 people, that's just crazy for the whole building. So, you guys also do the ParaPsyCon.
Correct.
Which started in 19, correct? Yeah, 2019?
2019.
Yeah. Now, I went to the first one, and I actually bought a few things for the haunt there, because you got all these cool vendors. And then I went to the one last year and bought some, I don't even know what it's called. It was really cool. I put it up in our house. It's like these deer antlers, and it's got this thing that's hanging down from it, and it's got this little like card with all this writing and stuff on it, and then the thing just like hangs over it and like moves around. I don't know what that's called, but it was really cool.
Yeah,
I'm
pendulum?
like, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, that's cool. I'll buy that. Talk about ParaPsyCon a little bit and what's involved in that, and how do you get to come to that?
Well, there's a lot of work involved with that.
Oh yeah.
But it's a great event. Greg, I'll let you take it from here as far as the details, and then I can talk about Hearst Media.
ParaPsyCon stands for Paranormal and Psychic Convention.
Right.
We just got that registered trademark to the U.S. Patent Office, so we're excited about that.
So no one else can use it.
So we're excited about that. But we have about 100 vendor tables, all different types of vendors. They're throughout the prison, Central Guard Room, East Diagonal, the whole West Cell Block, and Bullpen. And wide variety. We have paranormal teams, we have authors, we have special guests or celebrities, we have speakers. And here is the cool thing about this, and Kathy will talk about what we're adding this year. We also have food trucks, but you pay your admission into the Ohio State Reformatory, which is $25.
Right.
Everything else, as far as ParaPsyCon, is included.
Oh, cool.
You get to visit all the vendor tables. You get to see the speakers. You get to go talk with the celebrities. And we also have some raffles, cool raffles where we have some cool prizes that we'll be giving away. Like I said, we've got a lot. This year we have about 22 special guest celebrities from the TV shows.
Now, when is it this year? When is the same, like in May?
It's always the third weekend in May. This year it's May 17th through the 19th.
Okay.
And we add the date May 17th because that's when we have our VIP meet and greet.
Okay.
That's not here at OSR. We actually rent out an event center, and that's where people purchase tickets and they get to rub elbows with the celebrities and everything one-on-one with them. And we're actually going to have a celebrity memorabilia type of auction there too to help raise money for the Ohio State Reformatory.
Yeah, and all the money we raise goes back into the building. We don't make any money off the event.
Oh, cool.
Everybody that works at ParaPsyCon, we're all volunteers.
Yep.
So
And we also do a food drive and pet supply drive.
Oh, nice.
So it's all about giving back. But this year we're teamed up with another event, and Kathy will
and
talk
I'm really
about that.
excited about this.
Yeah?
I know you know the Cleveland Haunt Club, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
So
Well, they're always at the ParaPsyCon.
yes, they
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
So we volunteered to help them at an event. And while we were there, I saw all these hearses. There was like 4 or 5 hearses or maybe more. And I looked at Greg and I go, we need to get some hearses at OSR.
Yeah.
That would be so cool
Yeah.
if it could be part of the ParaPsyCon. So I reached out to one guy, and I hadn't heard back from him for a couple weeks. And all of a sudden, I get an email from this other guy, and he says, hey, I was looking on your website, and I saw ParaPsyCon does this, and I have a group of about 70 hearses that we're looking for a new location to bring Hearse Mania, and we want to team up with ParaPsyCon. And I'm like, you put it out there, and it manifests.
Yeah.
This guy contacted me, so we are partnering now with Hearse Mania.
Oh, cool.
Which is a very well-known organization of hearse car shows. They're going to be here on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to have them outside of the Air Force One door. They're all the hearses are going to be out there. On Sunday morning, they're actually going to parade all the hearses from their hotel all the way through Mansfield to the Ohio State Reformatory and Park.
That'll be killer.
That's going to be so cool.
Yeah.
And that's included with your price too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you plan on coming out to the Reformatory to visit it, you might as well make it that weekend because you're paying that one price for everything.
Yeah. No, that's definitely worth it. You know, the first one you guys did, I came to, and it was really cool. It was Central Guard, but when I didn't get to, well, obviously the COVID
Right.
shit that went on. So it wasn't that year. And then the other ones, the 21 and 22, I wasn't able to be at, but I went to the one last year. And I was like, holy shit, this is really expanded because I don't think you used the cell block the first year.
No.
So it's just getting bigger. And that's really cool. Like that you can have, because like the cell block was literally full of just vendors all the way around. And there was a lot of cool stuff you can get there. Whether you're into the paranormal or not, there was just really cool stuff to buy.
Right.
Yeah,
And check out.
We had steampunk stuff. We have candles. We have soap.
Jewelry
We
and
have
crystals.
just anything and everything. And we also have ghost hunting places that sell ghost hunting equipment. So whatever your fancy is. And then you can get psychic readings. You can get you can have Reiki healing sessions. There's just everything.
So, okay, let's talk about the equipment a little bit because I've always had some questions. Because like we do ours and like everybody, let's talk about like legit equipment and apps on your phone. Because I'm just like, man, I ain't going to buy no app on your phone. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Or the actual equipment. Now, you guys, can you get that when you're here? If you just like walk in off the street, I'm doing a ghost hunt. I bought my ticket.
Yes.
Can I get one of these, whatever they're called? What are they?
Yes, we rental equipment, ghost hunting equipment. We have the Micro Red, which is a mini REM pod. People that understand equipment know what I'm talking about. Micro Red. We also have a digital and audio EMF. We also have an 8+1 EMF, which is similar to K2, except for the lights go up instead of across.
Okay.
And then we have lighted dowsing rods. Because you're working in the dark, so it's nice to be able to see what the dowsing rods are doing.
Yeah.
So we have all of that available. When you book a public ghost hunt or a mini ghost hunt, you can actually purchase or rent the equipment then, and it'll be ready for you. So when you check in, We have another desk set up with the equipment. You pick up your equipment. But if you forget to do that, that's okay, because you can still rent the equipment that night.
Oh, okay.
It's just not waiting for you. So you have to, put the request in, get it, fill out papers and stuff like that.
So you can roll in without gear. You guys got some stuff that you can use, and that's probably really cool, because like I like doing the ghost hunting. We've always had fun when we do it, but I don't have anything. You know what I mean? Now you mentioned dowsing rods. Before we were doing the podcast here, they asked me, it's like, hey, we're switching offices, and there's somebody that just needs a temporary office just for a couple months. Can they use this room? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. You know what I mean? It's fine, because my office is right over there, and then we have the podcast studio here, and then the booth over here where everything gets done. Kind of a unique office. I love having this, like, I got like 3 doors getting to. But someone used this office for just like a couple months, and they did an investigation in here. I was just like, okay, so, and they were like, I kept getting, because it was a female, and she kept saying, I just kept getting weird feelings in here, and the hair standing on the back of my neck, and the normal stuff. And I was like, whatever, you know what I mean? I'm like, what does that mean? She goes, well, she figured out some guy named Frank was stalking her. Like in here, this paranormal entity, I suppose, was, and she's like, so your room's haunted. And I was like, the whole building's haunted. Right. Okay, so first of all, there's that. I was like, and I've never had that. She goes, well, he likes women. And I was like, well, then I guess I'm in the clear then. But she said his name was Frank, and that she actually looked up, and there was someone incarcerated here by that name for killing a woman and her son. For the woman basically rejected him, said, no, I don't want nothing to do with you. And he got mad, killed her, and killed her kid. And that's why he was here. And it would have been, I think she said it was like in the 20s or something like that. Maybe 20s or 30s, I don't know. So I thought that was kind of odd. But she used dowsing rods for all that. And I was just like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me.
Well, I make dowsing rods too. I just started making dowsing rods.
So how do those work then? Then how do those, like, what is the story behind those?
I'm skeptical of all this equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I investigate, I really don't use a lot of equipment.
We depend on our senses more than equipment.
But dowsing rods they're freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I make them. We sell them in the museum store. So.
And they have light up tips.
Yeah, I have glow in the dark tips.
Glow in the dark. Yep. Sorry.
But if you take a set of dowsing rods, like these bottles of water. Mm-hmm. If I'm walking around and the dowsing rods would be pointing straight ahead.
Yeah.
As soon as I go over a bottle of water, or like my ring, if I put my ring on the floor someplace, or like a quarter or something, soon it goes over that, they'll cross.
Huh.
And then once you go past it, they uncross.
I probably should have had you guys bring some.
Now, see, what's really interesting about the dowsing rods were not invented to find spirits. Okay?
Right.
Obviously. Dowsing rods were used for a lot of different things, and one of them was to find water. There was something called a water witch back in the day, and they would find water for you for your wells and things. My dad was actually a water witch.
Okay.
So that's the origination of the dowsing, whether it be with sticks or dowsing rods or what have you. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I have to say is with those, just like the pendulums, you have to be very, very careful because they respond to your energy too. So just like, for example, the pendulum is actually used to give yourself personal direction. That's where they come from in like shaman work and stuff like that.
Right.
So when you are getting responses, it's because there's energy internally inside of you that is responding. So as Greg said about the dowsing rods with the water, one of the things that we always suggest is that you get the dowsing rods, you place water bottles throughout your house, and you just walk around with your dowsing rods. And as you're walking and you're feeling that crossing, you can feel the tug. So you get yourself used to how that feels as opposed to you manipulating it.
Right.
So.
And the dowsing rods I make, too, you're not actually touching the copper wires. They have wooden beads on them, so
Okay.
the ideomotor frequency is not really working
Okay.
for that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what are they made of exactly?
Yeah, mine are copper,
Okay.
and the beads are wooden
And love.
beads. Yeah, and love. Yeah, yeah.
Of course.
But it's like it's and nobody really knows how they do work.
Yeah.
They work.
It just does.
I mean,
yeah,
it is
yeah.
so freaky when you're, because I mean, I'm no dowser or anything.
Yeah.
I just hold them, and I walk over water and they go, whoom, just like that.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, you know what? I could walk around blindfolded, folded, and you could have bottles of water and they'll cross over.
He was in
Wow.
the backyard trying to find treasures.
Yes, I was.
Water treasures. So ParaPsyCon, let's get back to that a little bit. What else goes on? Do you guys do a ghost hunt during like ParaPsyCon? What else goes on besides just, you can buy some stuff?
Well,
Okay, go ahead.
Well, the one thing I did say is the VIP meet and greet, which is
Yeah.
on Friday. You get certain packages, you get other things along with it. And we do have a celebrity ghost hunt that is on Saturday night.
Okay.
And basically what you do is you purchase the tickets, and our talent that is here, our TV show talent that is here, will be placed in different locations of the building, and you will be escorted to them to be able to ghost hunt with them. So you get the opportunity to ghost hunt with each group of talent, celebrities, whatever you want to call them. And then once you're done, once we're finished with doing that,
Yeah.
then the talent stays here and they go around and they just do investigating, and you're welcome to join them at that time.
Very cool.
Anything you want to add to that, Greg?
No, it's the actual event itself and the VIP meet and greet, and with the VIP meet and greet too. I mean, there's also appetizers, and
Right.
there's free water, soda, and lemonade, and a cash bar, and we have a DJ.
Oh, there you go.
We have a DJ, and
Very cool. Who's coming? So like you say, celebrity ghost hunt, like who's coming this year?
all right. Let me see if I can remember some of the people. Katrina Weidman,
Okay, where's she from?
Portals to Hell, Paranormal Lockdown.
Okay, Portals to Hell. They've been here, yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was the whole Jack Osborne thing,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yes.
Correct.
So we got Katrina. We've got Heather Taddy coming.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a guy named Ben Hansen.
Ben Hansen's a UFO guy.
Yeah, he's
Ah.
our
He used to be on Fact or Faked.
and he,
which was a great show.
in UFO Witness. We have 2 Bigfoot people coming because
Bigfoot.
ParaPsyCon is not strictly ghosts.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so
Right.
we have UFO people, we have Bigfoot people, we got 2 people from a show called Expedition Bigfoot. We have Ronnie LeBlanc and Russell Acord. That will be here. We've got Dave Schrader and Brian Kano.
That's cool.
Just a wide variety of people.
Bigfoot's one where I just can't get on board with that.
No?
No, only because it's like, come on, dude. You would seen that by now.
But a lot of people have.
Well, I mean, we would have caught one. You know what I mean? What is it? Is it a primate? You see what I'm saying? I think we would know if that was around.
Well, I will tell you that we went on vacation we did a
3-week
drive,
Yeah.
pretty much.
vacation.
And Greg had to get dash cams just in case we saw Bigfoot.
Because we went to Mount St. Helens.
Not saying it's not real. I'm just saying. Yeah.
We went to Mount St. Helens, and that's a real Bigfoot hotspot.
Yeah.
So you never know, So
No, that's true. You
so-
never know.
But
We did see Bigfoot, though.
yeah.
Yeah, he was a
Okay.
huge wooden statue.
yeah.
I was going to say, there's one outside of Crestline, Ohio.
yeah.
You ever pull into Crestline? There's a big Bigfoot statue there.
You know what? I do think that there could be a Bigfoot. Not. I mean, personally, I don't think there's any over here.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that report it in every state.
Yeah.
But up in the Pacific Northwest, where it's so vast,
Right.
and it's I
A lot of untouched
right.
forestry.
And if they're
Yeah.
intelligent, I mean, look when we first discovered gorillas.
Yeah.
Well, that was back in the early the 20th century.
Yeah.
Everybody heard stories about these big, hairy, man-like things, coming out of Africa. Yeah, you're crazy. Until now, we know them as the mountain gorillas.
Well, we need to find those for sure.
Well, I wonder sometimes if the Bigfoot cloaks themselves.
Nah.
No,
You don't think? What about that one show that Ronnie Blank was on? And remember when they got that image, but
Yeah.
it looked like it was cloaked.
Okay, then what about the famous Bigfoot video footage?
Yeah.
Is that faked?
Depends on who you ask.
I actually have a cast replica of that signed by Bob Gimlin.
Oh yeah.
Sitting in my office at home. You know what? You hear both sides, but personally, I believe is that it was not faked.
No.
Because for one thing, back when this was filmed, even Hollywood did not have the special effects to do a costume like that.
Yeah.
And for me, if somebody was going to fake a Bigfoot costume, I think the last thing that they would think of is adding breasts to it.
Okay.
There's breasts on that Bigfoot.
Oh, okay.
So
I guess I didn't notice that part, believe it or not.
yeah, it does have breasts. So
Yeah.
I mean, if this was a hoax, and you know what, when Roger Patterson, even when he passed away, he said it was real up to the day he died.
Yeah.
And of course there have been a lot of hoaxes.
Yeah.
But this is one I don't think it is a hoax. It just looks too real.
Yeah.
And people were saying, well, it doesn't walk. It shouldn't walk. How do you know how it's supposed to walk?
Right. Yeah. Well, if you ever get Bigfoot to come to ParaPsyCon, I will be there.
We will.
You may see him.
We will have Bigfoot here.
We are going to have Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot will be here.
Yeah. Okay.
So then you'll be a believer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Seeing's believing.
You'll be like, holy shit, they got a Bigfoot. How'd they get that?
I went to the I don't know which shows he's on, but I know he's kind of famous. We went to Las Vegas. It was about a year ago this time, and we went out to the Zach Baggins.
Yes.
Is that how you say it? Zach Baggins, like his museum. That was really cool. I mean, just because he had so much stuff that was like unreal. Like, how did you get Ed Gein's cauldron, and why would you want that? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he had he had the transaxle from the car that James Dean wrecked and died in, which I guess was used in other cars, and every car that got put in.
That's supposed to be haunted.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And there was and then we went down into the basement of this place, because the place where the museum's at is supposedly really haunted. And there was like some wild shit that went on ritualistically, rituals in the basement, and there was stuff on the floor. It was kind of weird, but man, he had so much cool stuff in there. Have you ever been there?
Have not, but I've heard a lot of really good things about it.
It's really interesting. It really is.
And we have one of our special guests, the Booth Brothers. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of stuff like that. So they have like their own traveling museum.
He had this. Oh, what the hell was it called? He had this. It was someone's remains. Like, it was an actual, and they told, and cause, me being the dumbass I am, when you go into the building, it was me and my wife and my friend and his wife, and they're like, this is somebody's actual final resting place, so we ask you guys to be quiet, don't talk while you're in here. And then it's like, you just see this thing, and then you got to walk around to the other side and look at it, and then you see the person. And I was just like, wow, look at that. I was like, oh. You know what I mean? I mean, like, instantly, everyone else is quiet. My buddy just looks at me. I'm like, sorry. But he had, like an actual dead person in there. And then there was this rocking chair that was in there that, like, they said, this is probably one of the most craziest things in here. And then there was something else, some Jewish, it had something to do with Jewish, it was like a box.
A Dybbuk?
God, I can't remember.
That's what it sounds like.
I think it was. And it was like this. There was this wild, but he had wild story that went with it. But he had so much stuff in there. Charles Manson ashes.
Wow.
I mean, just like Kevorkian's van. Wow. He had Jack Kevorkian's van. You could actually like put your head in the van and look around. You know what I mean? And I was just like, dude, this place is. And then he had a little mini funhouse / haunt. Like, it was like a funhouse. So like when you go in, it was like, I don't want to give it away for everybody, but it was it was like a little miniature haunted attraction that you walk through for like not even a minute, but it was really cool. Mm-hmm. So he had pretty much everything in there. If you ever get out there, you need to check it out. It's really killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
We should do that.
I've been looking so long for a legitimate reason to go to Vegas. Like, they need to have a convention of some sort in Vegas just so I can go out and have a reason to go out there. It's so much fun to go out there. Not only just with, that place, but if you ever get a chance, definitely check it out.
Yeah, we were just there, but we didn't go. We didn't go there. We actually went to the Pawn Stars.
Silver and Gold
Pawn shop.
Star,
Yeah.
We were going to go there, but where's that? Isn't I heard that was in kind of a rough side of town.
No,
not too bad. No.
No.
It would be cool to go there. Was anybody there?
They weren't, but we got pictures with their cutouts.
Well, we saw Antoine.
Yeah, Antoine.
Oh, okay.
Antoine was there.
But he was kind of off and back, so you couldn't really talk to him.
Yeah.
But when I went
to the Zach Baggins thing, the one lady that was there, because of course I'm wearing Blood Prison and everything, and she saw it, and she goes, "Where are you from?" And I said, "I'm from Ohio, Mansfield, Ohio." And I kind of looked at the picture like Ohio State Reformatory, and she was like, "Oh yeah," and she knew exactly where this was because I guess he's been here and done stuff. Mm-hmm. But it was just pretty cool. Pretty cool to go out there.
Yep.
Check all that out. So what else is coming up? Anything paranormal wise? We got ParaPsyCon coming up. Mm-hmm. Is it a season like paranormal season for the tours and the ghost walks or is that pretty much all year? Or?
Private ghost hunts are pretty much all year except from September through the middle of November. So private ghost hunts are pretty much all year. We're booking up really, really fast. So if anybody's interested in a private ghost hunt, it's best to get on board now and put your requests in because the days are going fast. The public ghost walk and ghost hunt and mini ghost hunts and the Paranormal Institute will all begin in March.
Okay, so we're not far.
No, not far at all.
We're not too far.
Yeah, the time comes up really fast.
Well, and if you're going to do a private hunt, like, so if someone gets a hold of you and wants to do a private hunt, I imagine this time of year you tell them dress warm because we all know that the cell blocks are not heated.
Yeah, well, January and February, we do offer a 10% discount.
Oh, okay.
Because of it's a little chilly.
Oh yeah, that's an understatement. It's wild because like today's not very cold, but like as soon as we walked up into the west, it was just like, holy shit, it's freezing.
Oh yeah.
Because the cold just like stays right inside this building.
Well, I wore my coat over here, and it's just walking down the hallway.
Right. So ParaPsyCon again. What are those dates?
That May 17th through the 19th, and the vendors are actually here on the 18th. So it starts at 11 o'clock. In the morning?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. I'm sorry, that's Sunday's time.
Oh, yes.
So 10 o'clock on Saturday ends at 5, correct? And then Sunday it starts at 11 o'clock.
Now, are we still doing the same thing? Central Guard East and Central Guard East and the West cell block all going to have the...
Oh, yeah, they'll have all of the vendors, and then the Hearst Mania will be outside of the Air Force One door in that area, and they have a few pop-up tent vendors that will be out there as well.
And we'll have a lot of food trucks up and down the main drive.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and even the celebrity guests, like they have their own booths that you can go up, do meet and greets with them, get photos, autographs, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. The talent will bring their own items, whether they be pictures for autographs or what have you. But it's open. Come on out. You meet whoever you want to. You enjoy yourself. You go to see the speakers. That's all free as well.
Yeah.
It's a fun time. And we talk about the food trucks. Make it a full day. Bring a blanket. Sit out by the pond. It's beautiful.
It is. It's a good time of year to have it.
Right.
Food.
Yeah. And also you can buy a 2-day pass for a discounted price. So you can get both days for $40.
Now, where are you getting tickets to ParaPsyCon at? Where's that happen?
You can go to our website, ParaPsyCon.com.
Okay.
And there will be a tab that'll say ticket info. And you can purchase all your tickets through there.
Yeah, and one thing I should kind of clarify a little bit. The tickets, the admission into here is an OSR ticket, but you can go through the link on our website. The VIP meet and greet and the celebrity ghost hunts, that's strictly through our website. We actually do the ticketing for that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What about social media? You guys on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff?
We are, and then we also we post on the paranormal sites as well.
Okay.
And we have a sponsor called ParaFlix.
ParaFlix, okay.
They're a big sponsor, and what they're doing is they're getting the word out there for us as well.
Oh, very nice.
So we're hitting it at all levels.
Well, yeah, we're actually have some people who've purchased tickets from California.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
So that's really, really cool. I mean,
we get them.
Tickets are from all over the U.S.
Yeah, we
now
get them from Canada too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The building's a draw for sure.
Absolutely.
It is.
I mean, I know on my end, just doing the Halloween stuff, it's like there's no better venue in this state to do. I mean, there's not a better one. I don't care where you are. You know what I mean?
Go to a haunted house in a haunted location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best of both worlds for sure.
Right.
Well, thank you guys for coming on, man. I appreciate you being here. I know we're neighbors, just right down the way. It was nice to talk to you guys and kind of clarify, because again, I always get that. I always get the paranormal, like it even bleeds into the Halloween stuff, where it's like, they always ask me if we can stay the night. That's another good one too, where they always say, so do you get to spend the night there? I'm like, listen, it's not like you come in and then you go to bed. Right. It's not like you go to sleep, you get to sleep in a cell. You're ghost hunting, paranormal investigations. Oh, okay. But they do the spend the night because it used to go till 5 in the morning, didn't it?
It did, yes.
Yeah. So now it just goes till 3.
Right.
Until 3, correct.
Yeah.
And we're actually putting in the shorter one from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
For the ones that can't quite hang.
Right.
Yeah. That's me.
As you get older, that's the way it happens.
That's how I am now too.
When we did ours, not last year but the year before, I usually leave by around midnight. I'm just like, all right, guys, I'm out. I'm going home. One guy who's not on my crew anymore, but one guy, I think it was Eric, was telling me, he goes, we were here till 3. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah. Everybody had left by like 1:30. There was one guy that was sticking around, and they had to get on like the PA system. He'd be like, come on, dude, time to go. Because he just loved being here,
Mm-hmm.
But all right, guys, thank you for coming in, and good luck this year with all the ghost hunting program, paranormal programming, ParaPsyCon. Check it out, ParaPsyCon.com. Get your tickets. Come out to the Ohio State Reformatory. Take it from me, it's worth coming to because they got a lot of cool stuff that you can buy, people you can meet, and it's just a really cool event. Thank you, Greg and Kathy, for coming on.
Thank you, Vic. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And we'll do it again, all right?
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks.
All right, thank you.